here, mate. How are ya? You alright? That is an Australian voice coming out of my mouth. Correct. I'll talk a little bit more. I won't tell a joke for a bit just to give you guys time to adjust. Australia! That's me, mate. I live in London. Thanks for having me. I've never been to Sweden before. You guys charge a lot of money for pastries, all right? I'll tell you that. I've never had a better or more expensive pistachio donut in my fucking life. I moved into London like 9 months ago. I actually lived in London for 2 years, 10 years ago. I had the 2-year working holiday visa that the British give us in Australia, and then the visa ended, and the British people went, "Get the fuck out of here, mate!" But I came back. My dad is Australian, but his dad, so my grandpa, was born in the UK just outside of Manchester. And I found out if you've got a grandparent born in the UK, you can get a 5-year ancestry visa, right? Great. But my dad is not my biological father. So he met my mum when I was 2 years old. And like he raised me, he's, like father. But legally, he's not my dad. He never did the adoption, so that means that's not my granddad, and I couldn't get the visa. Fuck you. So, what we did was when I was 32 years old, I got my dad to legally adopt me as his son so that I could get that visa and invade the UK, mate! We did it, yeah! And I like to tell them, not all immigrants come on boats, all right? That's all I'm trying to say. Some immigrants come via administrative loophole. Isn't that wild? Who knew? You don't need to be a baby to get adopted. Who knew? You know what I mean? You don't need to dress up like a baby to get adopted. I wish I'd known that before I brought the whole outfit. I was ready. No, I get some use out of it. I still wear it just on a Saturday night in the mirror at home, just like, yeah, goo goo gaga. It's funny to get adopted at, sorry to leave you, this man's just rubbing his face. Does anyone have some fucking, It's a rough image in the, yeah. It's a funny thing to get adopted at 32, because like usually it's children getting adopted. Like 99% of the time it's a child, and that's how the law is all set up, assuming that it's a child. The law didn't change even though I was 32. So in Australia, legally, the government had to provide me with a social worker through the process of adoption. Like, just to see how I was. I was fine. It was my idea. But every week, how are you, Aidan? Everything okay? I was like, work stressful? I don't know, man. Do you want to lend me some money, actually? That'd be sick. I was older than her. I was checking in on her. How are you, mate? You look tired. Everything okay at home? She didn't like that. You don't say that to a woman. I was like, I'm a baby. I don't know. So I'm, the reason that my dad is not my biological dad, I'm half Colombian. So my mum's Australian, but when she was 22 years old, she went backpacking in South America, and then she came back to Australia and went, oop. And that's me. Isn't that wild? I love my mum, but whoops. That's a whoops from mum, And I used to get, I was a dickhead when I was a kid, man. My mum would tell me, I'd make dumb decisions. She was like, Aidan, why do you do this stupid stuff? And I was like, what was that? Bareback backpacker? What was that, mate? Calling me dumb. Okay. I never met the guy. His name's Fernando Garcia Murcia Basto. That is the name of the Colombian man who fucked my mum. Like the ABBA song, Fernando, Yeah. And I never met him until I was 28 years old. We found him online. He's lived a whole life, He lives in Austria. I actually went to meet him in Austria. And the wildest thing was, I went and met this guy, and that's a wild experience. And then we took a photo together, put it on Facebook, and then all my Colombian aunts and uncles back in Colombia just added me on Facebook. What's up? We're your family now. I've got just like this whole family of people in like Bogota and Medellin and shit going like, come over, man, we'll fucking treat you right. And like, I try and practice my Spanish, you know, it's exciting. I'm talking to people. This one lady, Tatiana Correa, she's my cousin. Never met her, right? Messaged me for my birthday, all in Spanish. Someone just laughing at a woman's name over there. Tatiana Correa. What a fucking idiot. They do. People have different names, don't they? And that's something to be. Anyway, I still feel like the accent is a bit of an issue for some of you guys. So she messaged me for my birthday, all in Spanish, and like, you know, I'm trying to practice. I messaged her back. I was like, espero que tu año ha estado lleno de felicidad, which means I hope that your year has been full of happiness, right? I was proud of that sentence. There's a lot of fucking different clauses going on. And I sent that, and then I checked it on Google Translate. And año in Spanish means year, right? Yeah, so they got the normal N, and then they got, you guys know all about fucking weird shapes over your letters. They got that little moustache, don't they? Over the N, the nya. Nya. And I don't have that key on my keyboard. I just got the regular English keyboard, so I put the normal one, sent it, checked on Google Translate, and I found out año with that bit means year, but without it, ano, that means anus in Spanish. So I said to my cousin, who I've never met, I hope that your anus has been full of happiness. And I was like, do you know what? I stand by it, all right? I hope it has. Good for her. She deserves that in her life. I think we all do. I want to play you guys some piano, and I forgot that, I mean, my voice is very loud. Imagine I just fucking suck at the piano now. I love the piano. That was Frédéric Chopin's Nocturne in E-flat major. I love it. I started playing when I was a kid, man. I grew up playing the piano, did my grades all through school. I actually auditioned for the conservatory in Adelaide when I was 18. Didn't get in, didn't learn my Bach, like a fucking idiot. And I drifted away from the piano. I started focusing on like MDMA was a big focus for me. MDMA, very different to the piano, isn't it? You don't need to practice. You're just good straight away. You're like, yeah. And I found the community of drug-taking people is much more welcoming than the classical piano community. There's no auditions to get in. There's no scales to learn. There are scales for, you know, weighing your drugs out, but you just take the drugs and you're welcomed, you know? You can put them in your butt if you want, but you don't have to. Isn't that beautiful? Some of my friends started smoking meth, and I don't know about meth, man. I don't know if Stockholm a big meth city. You don't seem it. Meth to me is like cricket, I reckon. Like if you're into it, that's great, but I don't have 5 days to commit to this. You know what, Stockholm? You've surprised me there. I was like, there's no way this city has enough of a working knowledge of the game of cricket for that joke to work. But you know what? The fucking Indian Pakistani diaspora have carried you through there. You stand on the shoulders of giants. I started stand-up when I was about 20, man. Stand-up comedy is a lot like the drug world, to be honest. It's a very open community. Anyone can try. Literally any fucking psycho off the street can try stand-up comedy. And they do. They come. The psychos. I don't know if you've ever been to an open mic comedy night. It's fucked. Open mic comedy is, it's like this, but if you guys weren't here. Just a bunch of angry young men yelling about their dads. And I was like, these are my people. And I did that for 10 years and I loved it. But in the pandemic, couldn't do comedy. I was in Melbourne with lockdowns, obviously, and so I couldn't do stand-up. And my drug dealer was outside my 10K radius there to go. So came back to the piano and I started learning. That was the first piece that I learned when I came back. Frédéric Chopin's Nocturne in E-flat major. And I started learning about this guy, Frédéric Chopin, Polish composer, born in 1810. Wrote that when he was 21. Isn't that fucked up? That annoyed me when I found that out, because I know what I was doing when I was 21. This. It's an emotional age, isn't it? There's a lot going on. 21-year-olds there, I don't know if we got any in tonight. 21-year-olds, they're like, you know, they're excited about life. They're like, we need to change the world. And everyone else is like, yeah, but table 3 needs a bit of a wipe down as well, so you jump on that one. But when I used to listen to a lot of rap, you know, that was my music. I didn't listen to classical when I was growing up. I'd be like in my room, you know, in my parents' house in suburban Adelaide, listening to Nas, the rapper from New York, yeah? And Nas is like, straight up, shit is real and any day could be your last in the jungle. And I was like, yeah. Yeah. My school is a jungle. He's right, yeah. And I'm a lion. That's a dog, whatever. Some of these references, guys, they're quite cultural, all right? But that is a dog. So this music is not that different from the rap that I used to listen to. The way that this music works, it's split into 2 parts. You got the right hand there, that's the melody. And then the left hand, that's like the foundation for the right hand to sing over. It's like how in rap you have the rapper on top and the DJ on the bottom, yeah? It works in the same way. There's obviously differences between Chopin's music and rap. In Chopin's music, unlike rap, there's no notes that if you're a white person, you're not allowed to sing those notes. So the way that he creates tension though in the music, he starts out here, that's an E flat, that's the key of the piece, it's going to be normal, but then, whoa, he's crazy. Play it again. That, it should be there, right? It's a semitone off. So in music, the 2 closest notes to each other, that's called a semitone. You play them together, it sounds fucked. Really tense. You know the Jaws song? That's a semitone. That's why that sounds like you're fucked. Isn't it? Here comes the shark. Uh-oh, I'm gonna fuck you. No! Imagine being fucked by a shark. Do you know what I mean? You can't even say no, you're just underwater. And that would be a bad experience, I would think. So you put that note into this chord and it makes it a diminished chord. That's the name of that chord. I'll do basic, this is like a little music lesson. Basic chords. First up, major. Yeah? Major chords are happy. They're like... For you guys at the back. It's like your dad pushing you on the swings when you're a kid, you know? Like at the playground, you're like... I love you, Dad. Am I going too fast for anyone? Dad, yeah? You guys got dads? Like mum, but hairy, that one? Alright, you lower a note in the major chord. Minor, sad. Oh, no, Dad. Oh, maybe your dad left. Oh, no. Maybe that's your fault. Maybe you did that with you just an ugly baby. And he was like, fuck that. And he got out of there. And good for him, you know? Take control of your life. You lower a note in the minor chord, diminish. Diminished chord's not really happy or sad. It's just tense. It's like something's going to happen, but you don't know what. A diminished chord is like when you see a drunk man on the train. You're like, fuck, what's he going to do? Maybe he's going to say something happy like, oi, I want to kiss you. Maybe he's going to say something sad like, "Oi, I forgot how to spell my name." Oh, and his name's like Tim. Do you know what I mean? You guys would probably spell that in some fucked way, wouldn't you? Tim. Tumor. Anyway, or maybe he's going to do something really crazy like shit himself on the train. Or maybe get his dick out. He gets his dick out, I join in, and then we kiss. Beautiful. I do children's piano lessons, by the way, if you want. So just to recap, you're feeling good, a major, and then diminished. It's tension, right? I was learning this piece of music in lockdown. I wanted to share it with my friends who don't play piano, so I was trying to think of a story to explain that. When do I feel all good and then suddenly tense? Do you guys ever get that voice in your head that says weird stuff? Yeah. You know, you're like, "Oh, don't do that." I call it the inside voice. In school, teachers were always going like, "Aidan, you need to use your inside voice." I was like, "Nah, you don't want that." I get it at home. I'll be in my kitchen just cooking, you know, cutting veggies over on the counter, and then my housemate walks in, and just because I've seen him and I'm holding a knife, the voice is like, "What if you stabbed him?" Ha 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 ha. And I don't want to. I drop the knife. I go, "No, I don't want to stab anyone." I'm trying to make him feel safer. That's important. That's that moment. You feel good. It's like you're feeling good, and then you're fantasizing about murdering your friend. Oh no. Here's the genius of this music. He could just play all of the notes like that. Instead, he breaks them up. The tension's still there, but it's less obvious, right? And that's just the left hand. That's what you think in your head. But then the right hand is what you say out loud to your housemate. "Hey man, you having a good week? Everything all good at work? Big day tomorrow? I'll be out of the kitchen soon. You can do your smoothies or your meal prep or whatever." Then the left hand's going, "You should fucking kill him, cut him up, bury him in the backyard. Everyone's got to respect you." Well, thank you guys very much for having me. Thank you for coming to the show. And I want to hand it back to you.